like best part of it is that the league is growing.
Yeah, the exciting part. The league is growing.
It's expanding. More teams are joining, which means more people are involved into that. Ideally where we want to be, like
where we want them to be, where SAFFL wants.
Sideline report, will you go to the crew? Touchdowns and tackles, we give you the view. Huddle up, football fans, this show's for you. From the pregame hype to the final whistle, true.
What's up, peoples? This is AM Sideline Report. I'm Arnold, co-host of our podcast. With me is
Marcus. Hey guys, how's everyone doing?
Yeah, so Marcus, what have we got lined up for today?
Yeah, we have a action-packed episode today. We're going to be discussing some NFL trades that's been happening. Draft has been going on now, but it has not been completed yet. So we'll be talking NFL trades. We'll be talking NL SAFFL games, UFL games. We have quite a bit lined up. We're going to be discussing our predictions for the upcoming games that's coming up now. Going to be interesting next week. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome episode. We'll try to keep it quick because there's a lot of games we have not yet spoken about yet.
Yeah,
for UFL and SAFFL. So
yeah, we don't want to oversaturate or overwhelm everybody for things. So we'll try and keep it brief and to the point.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but cool. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. So let's start with some NFL trades, Cam.
When we say trades, we're talking about trades, free agency movements.
Free agency trades. We'll discuss about that. I made a list of my top 5.
Yeah, I've got the same. You guys got the same? Okay, cool. I think I've got maybe one or two extra, but
why do you have to beat me, B?
I have to beat you all the time, Marines.
Come on, this guy.
Always got to outshine all the time. No. All right, cool.
Okay, cool. So yeah, my first one will be Sam Darnold, who was QB from Minnesota Vikings. He was just now traded to the Seahawks.
Well, let's not say traded. He was in free agency. The Vikings didn't re-sign him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he took his chances on free agency. I mean, he did really, really well with the Vikings. I mean, I think he showed his caliber as a free agent QB.
I was actually shocked they didn't sign him again.
Yeah, but I think again at the beginning of the season, I mean, with the beginning of last season, the Vikings definitely took they had a QB going forward. I think it was in, what is it now? Was it in the preseason games?
Or in the original QB?
Yeah. Who I think season-ending injury. And so, yeah, I'm kind of, what are you going to do? So I think they resorted to free agency, and signed Darnold during that time, and
he showed that he's a great QB.
Yeah, I mean, really, really performed, but at the same time, I think going forward, like long way forward, the Vikings definitely want to develop, let's call it a franchise type QB. At least bring somebody up, run with the plan that they originally had.
Yeah.
Darnold was a stopgap for last season. And yes, he did really, really well, but he took the Vikings really, really well forward. But at the same time, they had a plan, and got postponed by a year. But yeah, at the same time, Darnold showing what he's potentially worth. I mean, that boosted his salary by quite a bit.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up now, because he's gone out to the Seahawks for a 3-year contract for $100.5 million.
Yeah,
that's some big bucks.
It's over $100 million.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's over 3 years. So, but I mean, yeah, that's quite a chunk.
Yeah. Well, especially with a couple of them that I have on this list, that's one of the highest amounts.
Yeah,
$100.5 million. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I mean, interestingly enough, right? So, I think on my list as well, one of the things I wanted to let's say special mention, but it's definitely on the list is Seahawks like seem to be getting rid of players as well.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, so
I know 49ers, that for
Yeah.
sure. 49ers got rid of a lot of players.
yeah, so they signed. Okay, so Seahawks signed Darnold, right? But then they traded Geno Smith to the Raiders.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yes.
For a 3rd round pick. Okay, so they got rid of Geno Smith. It was also QB, just for reference.
So Darnold will be taking over from him.
I guess so, but at the same time, they also got rid of DK Metcalf, which
Yes, I remember.
Yeah.
as well. Yeah,
which they sent to the Steelers for a 2nd round pick.
and
in the
good
draft.
players for them as well, especially DK Metcalf.
Yeah. So yeah, so I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but like I'm trying to figure out what the Seahawks are playing at. Yeah.
Like I said again also earlier, is the 49ers. What's their plan? Because every time I look at the news, something like, new player left 49ers, new player left 49ers. I'm like, what's going on with the 49ers? What are they going to do next season?
Yeah, but I don't know. The 49ers seem to be one of those teams that are kind of, I want to say, in them. They like a transition team in a sense. People come, they go. It's like it's.
Yeah, my poor dad is a 49ers fan.
Oh yeah, okay, man. Shame. That's what I could say.
Sorry, Dad.
Sorry, Marcus's dad. All right, but sorry, I interrupted you, Karan.
Oh no, that's 100%. Our next topic is this one should have actually probably been first. Is Milton Williams, he was the number 1 free agent this season. Defensive lineman, played for the Eagles and moved over to the Patriots. And we need some defense. He signed a 4-year contract at $104 million.
6.5 hours later.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess you were happy about it because they came to the
Patriots. Yeah. Very happy about that because we need some guys. Yeah, he's a defensive lineman, though. We need some O-line guys as well.
Yeah. Look, I think in a large thing. I mean, to a large degree, a lot of the teams are. Something that I mentioned before, like in the previous episode, is, it's not a single player, it's not a single position. It's a combination of coaching staff, players, skill level, who's actually there filling those particular roles, how they're coached, and what skills they actually possess. Patriots, look, any team is going to have a large number of gaps that they want to try and address, and as one team boots up, the other teams are also going to obviously trying to increase their standings as well and positions as well. And somebody has to come last, and every year is an increase or incremental increase into what they're potentially looking for and like pushing forward. So. Do you guys right now, like, when I say you guys, I mean the Pats, do the Pats right now need defense? Yeah, it works.
It's been a terrible loss.
Yeah, and I think if you can get them through free agency, then that's like perfect.
Yeah.
Get what you can when you've got it. They've got the budget for it, I think. So that's at least fine.
Well, Mike Vrabel, he spent a lot of money in free agency, though.
Yeah, he did.
So let's see what the budget actually is that's left.
Yeah, I think you've also got to look long term as well. I mean, it's one thing trying to boost up that, and I get that coaches' jobs are on the line as well, and the managers and things like that are also on the line. The selection committee and that type of thing. But in a like football's not a single season game. Yeah, you've got to look to the long term as well. So yeah, you can spend all the money that you've got now, but how does that set you up for next year, the year after? Because I think actually, was it the Falcons that screwed themselves over a little bit? I think they were fined for having yeah.
I'm honestly not too sure.
Yeah. No, okay. Let me not comment on that because that's. But anyways, yeah. So you've got to look to the long term as well. It's not a quick. It's not like, hey, cool. We establishing a whole we're overhauling everything this year, and we're going to suddenly shoot from number 31 in the rankings up to second, third, fourth, even first kind of thing. It's a no. Much as you can wish upon a star, it's not gonna. Please be first. So I think they're doing good work turning around, but like, is it the right positions, the right players, the right course right now? Maybe we'll see, I guess. But at the same time, looking forward, I mean, there's next year's draft. There's free agents becoming available at the end of the next season. Yes, you have to do it with what you can. I'm just not sure if it's exactly what you need right now.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's fair.
So yeah.
Like I say, we definitely need O-line guys.
Yeah.
Because Drake May, last season, he was getting sacked left, right, and center.
Yeah.
He could not do anything. He's either getting sacked or he's running the ball out or just throwing the ball out. So we definitely need some good O-lines.
Yeah. But this is also something that I have an issue with the Titans and their current draft. Okay, I know we'll discuss the draft when it's done.
Yeah. Draft could be in the next episode.
Yeah.
We will comment now and then in this episode, but draft is coming next episode.
I think round 3 has completed the draft already, so round 3 or 7. So
I think today is actually the last one.
Yeah, but okay. Well, at least 3 rounds of the draft have been completed. So, but yeah. So what I was saying is, like with the Titans drafting Cam Ward as their first overall pick at the first round, first pick, the Titans had the pick and they took Cam Ward. I get it. I get that they need a QB. But at the same time, like, was that the right call for them? And maybe it's a controversial opinion. Like I feel everybody seems to have expected that he was he's going to be Ward was going to be at least in the first round, which is fine. I mean, he's a good quality player, right? But at the same time, for the Titans, the Titans need a lot of work. Like there's a lot of stuff that they need. That's very. But at the same time, was that the right call for what they needed right now?
Yeah,
probably not. I don't feel that there's. They're almost They need their O-line. They need pretty much. Like there's a lot of gaps elsewhere. And yeah, sure. I mean, Levis isn't exactly the Will Levis. Not exactly the greatest quarterback. And yeah, I get that they had coaching had frustrations, or management had frustrations with him in the last season. But at the same time, like, you could stick it out with him for another season or two, maybe work on getting your defensive side up, your particularly your O-line as well. Your receiver corps. I mean, wow, okay, you could do a lot there, and then go, okay, Levis is definitely not going where we want him. He's out. Get our new QB. Yeah. Maybe they're taking the long-term picture and saying, okay, well, we're not going to fix this now, so get somebody in that we can train up, over the next year or two, build up the experience, rather than dropping him in like what they did or what the Pats did with Nate. But yeah, like the way I see it is, Ward's going to get frustrated there at the Titans. Titans aren't going to be able to offer him the quality of staff or the quality of protection. Look, I'm going to say they've done a lot of work and in free agency as well. So that's we'll see how up to them. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, like I don't know how much is actually going to change in the next season, kind of thing. I mean, we'll see. Obviously,
like we said, that Cam Ward's going to get frustrated at the Titans. From what I believe, he actually wanted to go to Titans.
Yeah, no, look.
That's what he wanted at the end of the day.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, sure, he wanted to go there, and that's all great and things. But if he fits in, all well and good. But at the same time, I think in the long run, I don't trust Titans management to provide the type of play style or playing capabilities that are going to allow him to prosper in the QB role bit. And so long term, he'll get frustrated, he'll leave, sign up to some other team, and then you'll probably see him. At the same time, though, going to the Titans, if he doesn't perform, he's going to leave, and maybe not performing is going to be not due to his own capabilities, but because of
the big picture.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, then so he leaves, but his numbers don't look great, so his contract's worth less, etc. It's like a snowball effect, I think. So we'll see. I mean,
2 seasons around the corner. Well, good couple of months around the corner. Well, preseason starts August. Because season starts September.
Yeah, September. It's usually about 4 or 5 weeks before
I think about 4 weeks before. Yeah. So but August.
Mm-hmm.
Cool beans. Okay, next one was Carlton Davis, cornerback from the Lions, and moved over to the Patriots for a 3-year contract for $60 million. And again, we need defense, so a nice cornerback would be nice as well. But we have, what's his name, Rodriguez, who's also a cornerback, and he's a very good cornerback as well. So, again, was that the correct move, like you were saying earlier when we were talking about Milton, with the players that we need and things like that?
Yeah. Look, I mean, it could also be the fact that, let's say Rodriguez, right? Potentially they're not looking to sign him long term, franchising him or anything. They're going to, he'll enter free agency at some point in, say, the next year or two. And then what do you do? So you have somebody again, looking long term forward. Plus also, I mean, there's always the risk of injury. So,
that's very true.
CB number 1, is not there. And what do you do now? You have a massive gap for potential remainder of the season or entire season kind of thing. It's good to have a balance. I think a lot of teams always have like everybody tends to look at wide receiver number 1, cornerback number 1, tight end number 1 kind of thing, like who's the top spot in that team. And a lot of times there's a tendency to rely on those people. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to bring up the Packers now, but one thing that we learned from the Packers this last season is don't rely on your spread the ball around. Yeah. Don't rely. There's no wide receiver number 1 effectively. Technically there is, but don't pass the ball around. Bring up a number of different players. A lot of teams don't expect what's happening, what's going to happen. They it's not like, with the Eagles, you're not covering Barkley the whole time. Yeah. Because you're expecting him to get the ball once he gets the ball.
And that's what they did in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. Yeah. So, if those key players are strong, right? And they obviously have targets and things like that to also make. It's a profession at the end of the day. And so you'll definitely be wanting to play them and use their talent and use their skills, but at the same time, try and spread the ball out a bit more as well. Broaden the play field, and things become a bit more interesting.
No, 100%. Okay, cool. So I'm being obviously a little biased here, because the last 2 has been Patriots. Another Patriots one, Stefon Diggs, wide receiver from Texans, moved over to the Patriots. 3 years, $69 million. So one of the positions we definitely needed was a very good wide receiver.
Yeah.
And Diggs did some very nice things for Texans.
Yeah, I actually think he'll put in nicely at the Patriots. The sort of play style that he has, I think if May can get him the ball, under certain play styles and conditions, I think Diggs will be a top talent at the Patriots.
No, I 100% agree. Diggs and May could be the next, bringing him up, so it doesn't count for you on our bet, but it will be the next Rodgers and Adams.
Yeah,
I can see that happening.
Yeah, that pairing. Yeah, I was waiting for that to come up. Like when you said it's going to be the next, I was like, yeah, Adams and Rodgers. Yeah, it's like yeah,
but it doesn't count for you.
It doesn't count for me.
I'll bet him up.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
I'll bet him up, so it doesn't
clear on this one.
So if you guys haven't seen the first episode, well, what you're doing, go check out the first episode. But we made a bet how many times he's going to speak about Aaron Rodgers. He said 3, I said 10, but we agreed that if I bring him up, it doesn't count. So I brought him up. It means nothing to you, so that's awesome. Okay. My last one is Russell Williams, QB from the Steelers, moved over to the Giants for 1 year for $21 million. So this could possibly be another Sam Darnold situation. Because Giants are not performing. Russell Williams is not that bad of QB. He could do something for them this upcoming season, like Sam Darnold did for the Vikings.
My only question is, what is Wilson thinking? Giants, maybe they offered him the most money, but
21 million.
Yeah, I know.
That's like on the lower end.
Money out of it, but I'm still trying to think. Why go to the Giants?
Yeah,
I mean, look, for the Giants, I mean, having him there is going to be a great thing.
For them, yes, definitely.
Yeah,
for him, it's kind of like the Tyreek Hill situation last season.
Yeah, okay.
Leaving the Chiefs, moving over to Miami Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as Tua got injured, he wanted to leave because he was complaining he wasn't getting the ball, he wasn't performing at the Dolphins. It could be another situation like that, or a similar situation.
It could be. I think Hill shot himself in the foot a lot there.
Tyreek.
Yeah. The whole management of the situation, how he handled everything. And yeah, I mean, but that's, let's call that water under the bridge and how not to handle things. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Wilson going over. I mean, like we knew he was up, and I guess the other question though to ask, counter question to that is, where else would you have gone?
That's true.
So
yeah, stayed at the Steelers, become second string.
Yeah, I mean, like, look,
sitting on the bench getting a play there, it doesn't sound too bad.
I mean, New York teams at this point are
Giants, Jets are terrible.
Yeah. Look, all of them need a ton of work. I mean, I mean, we've had some issues at the Jets, obviously, but yeah, I'm aware. I'm not waiting. I'm waiting. See, watch how I dodge around this, right?
Rodgers, Aaron, not the same guy.
Yeah, but yeah, look at the Giants. I mean, yeah, there's a lot happening there. I think. I just don't know. Again, I think they're fortunate for getting Wilson in there. I don't know how he's going to perform though.
Yeah. So you have to win.
I think I think a lot of it's gonna hang off the Giants draft situation.
Yeah.
Does Wilson actually come out and perform? Maybe. And I hope so for well, I wouldn't say for the Giants' sake, but for Wilson's sake anyway. But yeah, it's going to be largely, I think, well, at least in my opinion, a lot of it is hanging off of what happens now in the draft.
Yeah.
I think free agency is settled. I'm not exactly sure who they've signed free agent wise.
Or besides Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, apart from
I don't know. I'm not too sure who else they signed.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to check.
I can't think off the top of my head, I should say.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to go back and check. But yeah. let's see what happens in the draft. I mean, once the draft's over, we can actually maybe also do a quick look up on what the teams are looking like for the future, or going into the current season at this point.
Yeah.
Who's likely to be up there? I mean, again, as well, it comes down to pre-practice, or your off-season training, and then come pre-season, who's actually looking like their training camps and things have gone through. Who's actually looking at
becoming a top contender,
for the positions on the team. So
I can't wait for pre-season, see how that's going to look like.
Yeah,
but so that was all my top trades. So now it's up to you, my friend.
All right. So,
my nose is itchy.
Yeah, scratch it.
I'm trying to. It's been bugging me the whole time. You guys probably seen me doing this the whole time. My nose is itchy.
Yeah, it's not the drugs.
No.
No. I was about to say something.
They calling the police.
All right. So, from my side, interesting move. I'm not sure. I haven't done much reading up on it, so I'm not entirely certain who's or why that was taken. But Davante Adams moving to the LA Rams from the Jets.
If I remember correctly, they didn't want to keep him again for next season, so you had to go into free agency and find a different team.
Yeah, I think as part of the Jets getting rid of their current QB,
that workaround. Oh my word!
Getting rid of their current QB,
he that shall not be named.
Yeah, and I mean, does that count still, or
I won't count it?
Okay,
but don't stick to that because that's blind. Yeah. Then you will win the bet.
Okay, but I mean, it's a bit difficult to not bring him up if we're talking about the Jets from last season. So,
another.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
3 times in this video.
No. We haven't crossed the line yet. We'll 0.
That's still
I'm still at 0. It's 100%. Okay. Cool. All right. So, he that shall not be named.
Voldemort.
Once he left, I think the Jets realized that, whoopsies, we made a mistake.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, like when his contract nullified, or let's just say, or not nullified,
they kind of let him go.
They let him go, effectively ending the relationship. Pretty much. Well, actually, maybe we were blindsided this entire time by the auras. So coming with coming off
the shining crystals.
And so everything that they brought in or did or suggested or enforced, let's throw all of that out and start from.
Yeah, because I actually believe they got rid of every former Packers player.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure. I believe that is the case.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Lazard's out as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember seeing somebody was out.
So yeah. So fine. Adams was out. Just an interesting choice, I think, in general of that he went to the Rams.
All going from Packers, went to New York. It's like fresh start. Let's move all the way to the other side of America.
Yeah,
and go play for it.
I mean, he was with the Raiders as well at some point. Or
yes, that's true. Yes, he went. Yeah,
he went
Packers, Raiders. That is correct. Yes.
Yeah,
he came from the Raiders, going to
the Jets. Completely forgot about that. I mean, look, there's obviously history there as well, whatever. But I don't know. For me, it's just an interesting choice for the Rams. I think Adams. Look, Adams is a very versatile wide receiver, at least in my opinion. He's very, very good at finding space. He's got his moves. It's.
But it didn't seem like that when he was playing for the Jets, though.
No, but I think as well the structure of the Jets, and the way, let's say the players that they brought him into, I I don't think he got the opportunity to shine. I mean, look, he was with them for what, 3 months?
Yeah, I was going to say about 4 months.
Yeah. So
He wasn't there long. He didn't have much time to shine, much time to perform.
yeah, I mean, like
Every game, it didn't look like he was performing at all. But I was actually, every time I watched the Jets play, I'm like, is Davante even playing? Because you don't see him, you don't hear him.
yeah. I think to some degree, it largely depends on the type of players, the sort of style of play that the team takes, offensively anyway. The sort of play calls, that type of thing. The QB as well. Potentially as well, as an example. I mean, Jets could have brought him in knowing that he would then be, it's the Rodgers Adams pairing again.
Yeah.
And so a lot of teams would have been going, oh crap, we need to shut Adams down.
That's true.
And so he basically became the distraction. Shut him down moves emphasis off of the rest of the receiver corps, and it opens up some additional plays. Keeping in mind though as well, I think the problem with the Jets was Mr. Rodgers' ability to play in the last season. I mean, look, if you had played very, very well, you would have, he would still be with them.
Yeah,
they would sign him another season and extend his contract and whatnot. And yet, they didn't. Yeah, so I think he made a lot of promises and whatnot, and got rid of the. At the end of the day, it was didn't work out, and mostly because of his performance.
Yeah,
and so Adams might not have actually been able to get the ball because Rodgers couldn't throw him the ball.
That kitty didn't help him. The walking stick.
Yeah. Man. Okay. Oh wait, he stopped the game.
He gets sacked. He breaks.
Yeah. All right. Actually, I had mostly QBs on my list. So obviously, okay, Davante Adams. Moving on to the next one is Justin Fields. Right, so QB for the Steelers. Well, actually, technically, he wasn't the QB for the Steelers. He moved from the Lions. He moved from the Bears. Right. I actually thought he wasn't bad for the Bears. Bears had other problems in that season. I think it was a 2023 season.
Yeah.
Then last year they traded him, or for last season they traded him to the Steelers, where I think he sat reserve or was backup QB2, second string, for the majority of the time. And he suddenly now moved in free agency. He's now with the Jets.
What's he's going to be doing better than Abrams.
Yeah, he definitely would be better than Rodgers there. But I didn't think the Jets would. Why would the Jets take Fields?
Yeah,
unless he's sitting on the bench again.
And it was going to be actual QB. It was going to be QB1.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see the
dynamic there.
Yeah, the picture. So, it just kind of boggles my mind why, how he's like, what is Fields' plan?
Yeah,
kind of thing. And
what's the Jets' plan?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So moving on, right? Next QB on the list, Joe Flacco,
leaving Colts from?
Leaving Colts to go to the Browns.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like,
that's another odd.
It is, but in some way, I actually see it working. Like, it's weird, but maybe it works.
But then again, I don't recall him doing much for the Colts either.
I don't. Like, I think he gave them some hope when that their QB issues had been solved, and or at least they saw some potential promise in it. But yeah, I'm not thinking of any standout moments. I can't think of anything.
I'm not anything from Joe Flacco or the Colts.
Yeah. I mean, the Colts had a decent season this last season. I mean, they didn't do fantastically well,
Yeah.
At least, but I mean, compared to, I think, past or recent past seasons, I think they showed some signs and promises of, moving forward, and, a lot of their skill gaps were the cause of their problems, and I think they recognize it and are moving in the right direction. He's trying to build up and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, okay, look, maybe Flacco wasn't the guy for that or the QB for them, but I can half see them at the I can half see Flacco at the Browns. Yeah,
And then orange and brown.
yeah, it sort of works in my mind.
Again, it's another situation we have to wait and see until the preseason, see how it actually goes.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope for the best, though.
I'd like to see him. I'd like to see what he can do at the Browns. Let's put it that way. Yeah, but that's it. That's
all the trade.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, so at least my ones, and like your ones.
Yeah, there's also all the trades. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
there's
a ton more.
Yeah, there's a lot more trade. Okay, so that was everything for now for the NFL. Like we said earlier on, draft is going on at the moment from Thursday to Saturday. We will be covering the NFL draft next episode 3.
Yeah, I think we're waiting for it to complete.
Yeah,
and then we'll do full coverage.
We don't do.
Prizes.
No, we don't just start mid.
Yeah,
to wait until the end, and then
we
we can talk about it. So let's move over to UFL and start talking, because there's been a couple of weeks already.
Yeah,
from week 1 to week 4.
Week 5 now.
Yeah, week 5 is coming up.
Yeah.
So we'll just be mentioning from week 1 to week 4 the different scores for each game.
Yeah.
So week 1 was your team, St. Louis Battlehawks versus Houston Roughnecks, where you guys destroyed them 31-6.
Yeah, but I think there was an obvious.
Yeah, the Roughnecks aren't really.
Yeah, they're one of the weaker teams. Battlehawks finished pretty strong last season. Yeah, a couple of upsets here and there, but decent season. Decent season. I think that score was expected.
But the thing is that with the Battlehawks, you guys are pretty decent team. Like season 1, can't remember where you guys finished, but you guys were quite a strong team season 1. Last season as well. And yeah, continuing this season. Opening game, destroying the Roughnecks 31-6. So that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Game 2 was San Antonio Brahmas versus Arlington Renegades. Renegades is another very hot team. They destroyed the Brahmas 33-9.
Yeah.
The Arlington Renegades is a pretty strong team.
They finished first last season.
The last season was the Stallions. I think they might have been in the finals of the Stallions.
Yeah,
I can't remember, but
I seem to remember them being somewhere.
Yeah, but they were definitely one of the top teams last season as well. Game 3 was Michigan Panthers versus Memphis Showboats. Panthers 26-12 against the Showboats. Yeah. And then final game for week 1 was Birmingham Stallions versus my team, DC Defenders, and we beat defending champions 11-18. So that was a big win, because last season we didn't do much last season.
Yeah. No, I think you started off, or the Defenders started off pretty good or pretty decent, and then just sort of fizzled out towards the end. And so, it was like,
Well, after our first season, we got to the finals, undefeated in the finals, and we lost. I can't remember against who, but we ended up losing in the finals. And then next season, we literally just went crashing down. This season, it seems like we picking up. You guys will see the rest of the scores.
Yeah.
But we're starting to pick up again this season. So,
yeah,
fingers crossed we can make it to the finals.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You can believe it.
Have faith in the DC Defenders.
I don't have faith in the DC, but I don't like.
You know what?
Defenders.
The rest of the games, the Battlehawks are losing.
That's what you think.
Okay.
Hey, we're discussing one year.
It's a lot of weeks after it. Okay, cool. Week 2 for you.
All right. So week 2, right? We've got The Stallions against the Panthers. Stallions beating out the Panthers 21-12.
Yeah, that's going to be
I think that's a pretty
self-explanatory. Yes, the Stallions are a very good team.
Yeah,
like I said, defending champions.
Yeah. Then second game of the week was the Showboats versus Defenders, DC Defenders. Defenders winning 17-12.
Of course. Not a very big score.
Yeah, it was a bit closer than what I would have thought it would have been.
Yeah.
But it's a win's a win,
Doesn't matter if it's an inch or a mile, winning's winning.
The riddle, yeah. And then we hit up with Roughnecks against the Renegades. Renegades actually not doing too great against the Roughnecks, beating them out 11-9.
Jeez, that's a very close game.
A lot closer than what I would have thought. I thought
the Renegades should have been a much higher score.
Definitely, yeah.
Should have been at least like 31-9 or something silly. Should have been a much bigger game.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not sure what happened there. I don't remember watching the game per se, but I mean hopefully the Roughnecks had a bit of a resurgence and came back strong, kind of thing. But yeah, a lot closer than what I would.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And then finally we have the Promise versus the Battlehawks, and obviously Battlehawks took that,
which is very shocking.
26-9.
Very shocking, especially because of what happens in week 4, which we'll get to now shortly. But that to me is quite shocking, though. Not gonna lie.
It is, but again, okay. I mean, look, we had week 2, right? I mean, the start of the season, I think we were also, still very funny. Yeah. So yeah, I think the Battlehawks capitalized nicely there. It was quite a good game. Yeah.
Awesome. We move on to week 3 with the Renegades versus the Stallions, and this was a tight game. Stallions beat the Renegades 9-10.
Yeah.
What in the heavens?
But I think that
it's 2 very strong teams.
Yeah. I think that's to be expected.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it almost is basically effectively, well, if you look at it, 3 pointers.
Yeah.
And possibly a touchdown and a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is kind of a close game. It really, really is close. So it could have gone either way, I guess, in those situations.
But defending champions coming back.
Yeah.
Again, inch or mile.
Yeah.
That was an inch.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the Stallions probably got lucky there. Honestly, I think Renegades probably could have done better, but getting lucky, I think, in that game.
So the next game is another very, very close game. The Houston Roughnecks versus Memphis Showboats. Roughnecks beats the Showboats 18-17.
Yeah.
And another extremely close game. 1 point difference.
Yeah, I think that's a good pairing. It could have gone either way. I mean, it's for me that's kind of the unexpected.
That's the 2 of the weaker teams you want to call it.
Yeah, let's just be honest. Like they're kind of the bottom team if we're looking at it. So, could have gone either way. I'm not. It's if you had told me it was the reverse score, yeah, I mean, okay.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, same. It's same from. But I mean, if you're a fan of either one, great. That's good for you. Yeah, it's either a close loss or a close win. Does it count? Probably not.
They're not getting any higher. Yeah, so game 3, San Antonio Brahmas versus Michigan Panthers, and the Panthers beat the Brahmas 26-23.
Mm-hmm.
That I didn't expect. I actually thought the Brahmas would beat the Panthers. But again, week 3 is a very, very close week. Except for the last game, which we'll get to in a second.
Yeah, we don't have to mention that one. It's it's neither here nor there. You know.
But yeah, there was a very close game involved. Just a 3-point difference.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, I would have expected the Bromers to take that.
Yeah, I also
by
thought
quite
Bromers.
significant amounts. You know, it wasn't. Again, I mean, you know, it's. I guess it's the luck of the draw. How you feel on the day. What you know, who you're playing against, and how you can adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guess the Bromers didn't find their stride.
Yeah, didn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
And the last game for week 3, my team, DC Defenders versus Arnold's team, St. Louis Battlehawks, and DC Defenders beat them 27-15.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. No. Okay, we'll clap for the well done. You know, at least you got a win.
We're undefeated at the moment. Did you mean at least we get a win?
I had to mention it. You know,
3 weeks in, we're 3-0.
Yeah. Okay. So
Only 3 weeks in,
Yeah.
3-0.
yeah, like last season, I mean, you started strong, I think, as well, and you know, the started strong and fell apart like late in the season. So, you know, the things happen. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. You know, type of thing. You know, we playing the middle of the pack. You know,
We'll see you in a couple of weeks again, and we'll
do
the same thing.
Well, I mean,
We'll be 28-14 this time. The 1 point just
just add an extra point to both sides.
no extra point to me, and I took a point off you.
Oh, okay. Well done. You can math. Well done.
Oh, not me earlier with my 1 thumb down and counting the rest.
To get to 9.
To get to how much is this? That was a blonde moment. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Okay. No, look. I mean, fine. I mean, I think the Defenders beat out the Battlehawks last season as well. So I mean, you know, it's not a. I don't think there was much of a surprise there.
Because we're the better team.
I would say the better team. I mean, potentially. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see you next time or later in the season. All right. Getting to week 4 then, I guess. Which is the week that just passed. Yeah. Weekend that just passed. So, Showboats versus Panthers. Panthers taking that 27-9.
They beat them first week as well.
Yeah. I think Panthers are one of those teams on the rise, or a really strong contender. Yeah, it's
they
at this point, are they are undefeated at this moment, right? Oh no, the Stallions beat them out. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll see how that goes. Battlehawks against Renegades. Renegades winning that 30-15.
See you guys on a losing streak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's but I mean, okay, it's the Renegades. Honestly, I think we struggle against Renegades the entire time. So you know, it's not just this season; it's last season as well, first season as well. So yeah, you know, it's not unexpected. Let's put it that way.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. Stallions against Roughnecks. Stallions taking that 23-16, and which, you know,
Stallions is Stallions.
it's expected. I think.
Defending champions again, so
Yeah, and then the
Roughnecks aren't that great.
Yeah, and then the Bromers taking the Defenders out 24.
Yeah, that was shocking. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it shocking though? I mean,
all the Bromers has been basically losing to everyone else.
no,
Bromers lost to the Panthers.
yeah,
Bromers lost to the Battlehawks.
yeah,
Bromers lost to the Renegades. They were on a losing streak.
yeah. Look, like I'm not gonna. I mean, if you're looking at things just by the numbers,
Yeah.
you know, numbers couldn't go either way. We from week 1 or from 1 week to the next, you know, the numbers are going to change, and definitely you got to look at the context as well, right? And so yeah, I mean, maybe they just had a slow start and they're coming back.
We'll see now next week.
Or maybe maybe this is the start of the Defenders taking a dip. You know,
Why do you have to be ugly the whole time?
this is not ugly.
DC Defenders have never got it now.
Well,
Well, we just lost now, and it was last season.
yeah, keep on to see. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, cool. Let's move over to our weekly predictions for this upcoming week now.
So this is for week 5 now.
Yeah, week 5, first game is Memphis Showboats versus Birmingham Stallions. And I'll say, obviously, Stallions is going to take this game. Showboats has not been performing. Stallion has defending champion. So I say Stallions is going to take this game. Game 2.
I'll agree with you there. Same story, yeah.
So you say the same as well.
Mm-hmm.
So game 2, Michigan Panthers versus St. Louis Battlehawks. I'll be nice. Okay. By biased opinion, I'll say Battlehawks is picking. We'll take this one.
Yeah.
Unbiased, Panthers are pretty hot at the moment.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, biased opinion because I'm a supporter of the Battlehawks. I'd hope that the Battlehawks win. I'd like it for them to win. If I'm being honest, though, I think the Panthers are going to take this.
Yeah. So we're agreeing on both.
Oh, are you saying Panthers?
No, I'm well. Again, biased opinion, Battlehawks, unbiased Panthers.
Okay, yeah, all right. So if I'm being realistic,
Yeah,
the Panthers will take this. If I'm putting money on something, it's the Panthers.
1 week later.
We'll see the Battlehawks wins. Did I lose?
Yeah, this is a tight one. This is exactly the same. DC Defenders versus Arlington Renegades.
Yeah.
Again, biased opinion, I want DC Defenders to win. I'll say DC Defenders. Unbiased, if I'm being honest with myself, I think the Renegades is going to take it.
If I'm being honest, biased and unbiased opinion, Renegades are going to take it.
This guy, why do I do a podcast with this guy? He's so ugly to me. He's so mean.
It's just called being realistic.
Be unrealistic.
Okay, so
Okay, cool. Last game as well. Houston Roughnecks versus San Antonio Brahmas. I say the Brahmas are going to beat the Roughnecks.
Yeah,
I'll take that game.
I'll agree. I think that's a pretty.
It should be an easy win for Brahmas, yeah. Because Roughnecks hasn't really done much so far this season.
I mean, as you pointed out earlier, neither really the Brahmas either. But at the same time, I do still think they're kind of performing.
They just beat us last week.
Yeah, they're just not. They're not getting or they're not finishing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So it's they're getting to the line, but they're just not crossing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. If we take Roughnecks, Brahmas, yeah, there's Brahmas, yeah,
100%. Okay, cool. So now we'll move over to our power rankings for UFR. So my power rankings, starting at number 5, I'll say Michigan Panthers. Number 4, I apologize for being so low, St. Louis Battlehawks.
No, you're not apologizing for it. You didn't know exactly they should put them there for a reason. You don't have to apologize.
Number 3, Birmingham Stallions. Number 2, DC Defenders. Unfortunately, we are low on the end now at the moment. Last week, I would have said obviously number 1. This week, I'm putting them at number 2 and number 1, Arlington Renegades. They are the hottest team at the moment.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Okay, so I'm going to go reverse order. So highest first, and then you're going to lower and drop down. And I will say, I like when I put this together, I had a different idea in mind. But having looked at a couple of things in the meantime, and reevaluated my opinion, I've reevaluated my rankings. So yes, I'll still agree. Arlington Renegades, number 1 at the moment. I'm actually going to then put the Stallions at number 2.
Okay.
Panthers at number 3. Battlehawks at number 4. And Defenders at number 5. Wow. It's like
wow.
I can't select the Defenders over the Battlehawks. It just wouldn't work.
We're sick in the league.
Yes, but it's a whole season to finish off.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. It's that way.
I'm heartbroken.
As you should be.
That's dead.
Yes. Ooh, you said a bad word.
Cool. So that was our power rankings. So moving on to
we'll come back to this next episode or next week.
what the power.
Yes. Just see where
Every week we'll be changing. We're updating our power rankings every single week. So
yeah,
our predictions every week, power rankings every week.
Yeah.
And every week as well, we're gonna be doing sideline awards. We're gonna be doing like we said the first episode, MVP of the week, coach of the week, and we're also gonna do game of the week.
Yeah. Okay.
So for UFL, MVP of the week was Bryce Perkins. He's a QB for the Michigan Panthers. He delivered a standout performance, leading Michigan Panthers 27-9 victory over the Memphis Showboats.
Mm-hmm.
He threw for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, and added a 45 rushing yards. So that was pretty decent. So definitely, he should be MVP of the week for the UFL.
All right. So coach of the week, Bob Stoops. Yeah, I said Stoops now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. From Arlington Renegades. Obviously took a 30-15 win over the Battlehawks. Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed, but they performed well. So Renegades defense recorded 6 sacks against the Battlehawks. I mean, Stoops' game plan and adjustments were pretty vital and key to the performance of the Renegades.
Yeah, they did very well. He also good coach. He deserves coach of the week.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, that probably wouldn't have taken. Wouldn't have been as decisively picked. The adjustments and things like that weren't made. And calls weren't made in the way that they were. So yeah, I mean,
100%. Okay, cool. So game of the week: San Antonio Bombers versus DC Defenders. You had to give game of the week to them. That was a very good game. Bombers secured a massive win, their first win of the season, by defeating undefeated DC Defenders and taking that game. They deserve that title of game of the week 100%. San Antonio started strong with 11 plays, 81-yard drive, capped with a touchdown at the end. For their first play. So
yeah, I mean, that's pretty decent. I mean, driving 81 yards.
81 yards, yeah.
Off 11 plays. Okay. Yeah.
Not too bad.
I mean, it's like progressive, progression down the field. I mean, you've got the ball, keep the ball.
Just keep on running. Push.
Yeah.
Don't go for crazy plays.
Yeah.
Just keep on playing.
Exactly.
Just drive down the field.
100%.
So definitely that game is game of the week. Okay, so that was UFL.
Yeah.
So moving over to
SAFFL,
our local beautiful league
in South Africa,
South African American Football League, as we call SAFFL.
Yes. Well,
so we have
awful.
So we have a couple of news topics to bring up for SAFFL.
Yeah.
First of all, at the moment, as I said previously in our first episode, they have 5 official teams.
Yeah.
Currently in tackle.
Yes. Yeah. There's to clarify.
There's teams all over, but currently in tackle, there are 5 teams
playing in the league.
Yes.
Also to clarify.
Moving forward from next season, they're adding 2 more teams, which is super exciting. They'll be adding the Tembisa Silverbacks and the Centurion Tigers, and both teams sound like a beast.
Yeah. Well, Tembisa Silverbacks, baby, that's Silverbacks, and then Tigers. I mean,
that sounds like 2 beasts of the teams.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. For me, the like best part of it is that the league is growing.
Yeah, the exciting part. The league is growing.
It's expanding. More teams are joining, which means more people are involved into that. Ideally where we want to be.
Where we want them to be. Where SAFFL want to be. It's beautiful. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And along with that, they also have developed another version of SAFFL, because it's also SAFFL, not SAAFL. The South African Flag Football League.
Okay, well, but I'd expect that to come right. I think that there was talks about this, and progress was being made in that. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to distinguish between the two, SAAFL and SAFFL.
One SAFFL. Which one's it?
Yes. Oh, and SAAFL, kind of whatever. Anyway,
But it's pretty cool because, like we said, they're growing,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. So they actually doing the South African Flag Football League to promote and grow for the 2028 Olympic Games.
I'd imagine that's
And also the Egyptian Championship that's coming up now in June.
yeah. I think we spoke about that in
the previous episode. Yeah.
But also what's pretty cool, like from my opinion anyway, is it brings how do I say a certain level of legitimacy to the actual flag football teams that are started out everywhere else as well. And so the idea is that you can at least participate in one of the teams, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And
But he's participating in one of the leagues as well. Yeah, exactly. Yes, SAFL or SAFL, one of the two top ball flags.
Yeah, but that there is an official league for flag football, because a lot of teams as well. I mean, like we've mentioned before as well, a lot of the teams start off with flag football. Tackle's not necessarily the first thing that people want to run to, or participate in. And it's a good way to feel out the game as well. And then if you are interested in tackle, migrate from there onto the tackle. So it's a great way to learn the game, get a feel for how things work in the game, and participate. And then, at least in this case, for the people that don't progress onto the tackle and want to remain in the flag football space, it provides an actual league to participate in. There's something to work towards a legitimacy of sorts to the whole flag football experience.
Yeah. No, which is awesome because, like we mentioned in our previous episode as well, that we started a league. Oh, not started a league. Sorry, started a team. We hadn't started a league. We're part of SAFFL.
Yeah,
we started our own team. The J Bay Dolphins.
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't provide a name though.
Yeah, we did. We didn't provide.
This is the announcement of the
yeah, exactly. So we are the J Bay Dolphins, Jeffreys Bay Dolphins. So we'll be part of the South African Flag Football League. We're still building a team. So like we said last time as well, if you guys are interested in joining, comment down below, let us know. And you could join the J Bay Dolphins if you're in the J Bay area, St. Francis area, things like that. Yeah.
Eastern Cape.
Yes.
Well, for those that don't know where Jeffreys Bay is, Eastern Cape. So also maybe just to clarify, for anybody that is wanting to join a flag football league, right, or flag football team, you're welcome to contact SAFFL, and Gridiron.
You can contact SAFFL.
Yeah. Okay. So contact SAFFL. Just to be clear, there are many teams, and I think they're coordinating the teams across South Africa as well. So there likely is a local team that is playing, or at least one close by to you. Anybody is welcome to join. There are youth variants of the sports. Ladies, girls, you're welcome to join in as well. It's non-tackle. It's pretty much whatever you're wearing. With sunglasses on, you strap on some flags, kind of thing, and it's just a bunch running around. It's the equivalent of touch rugby, as we mentioned before. And so it's non-contact. There's no real risk of injury or any sort of thing. It's all about the fun of it. So and getting to learn the game, I guess.
But yeah, so just to clarify, so in episode 1, I mentioned SAFFL and I mentioned YAFL, which is the Youth American Flag Football League. I told you I wasn't sure what was the age, what was the cutoff from that.
Yeah.
So I've got some more information. So SAFFL is 18 years and older.
Yeah.
So if you're 18, you're more than welcome to join the South African American Football League, but they're also obviously looking for South African Flag Football League. You're more than welcome to join there as well. You are allowed to join SAFFL if you're 16 years or 17 years old, but you would need a parent's or guardian's signature. Yeah, I said guardians. What is a guardians?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Or the guardians. With the SAFFL, the Youth American Flag Football League, there's different versions of it. Let's just say that. So you can be 10 years old to 14 years old, or you can be take part in the 15 to 17 years old.
Yeah.
Girls are also more than welcome to join. It is a mixed league. For the girls, they can play from 10 years old to 15, and from 16 to 18 years old.
Yeah. It's very inclusive. There's no, again, it's not tackle. There's no risk of an injury kind of thing. And so
if you guys know what touch rugby is, it's basically this.
Yeah, it's all about having fun and getting out there, and there's no exclusion of any sorts.
Okay, cool. So moving over to game coverage for SAFFL. They're on week 4. They're heading on to week 5. Well, they call it rounds, round 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going for round 5,
which similar is the UFL.
Which is on the 4th of May is the next couple of games.
Yeah.
So we'll just, like we did with UFL, we're going to cover the previous games. So week 1 was the Harlequins versus the Battlehawks. Harlequins beat the Battlehawks 56. That was a little bit of a hiding.
Yes, it was. But I also think at the beginning of the season, it's the Harlequins, I think, have the more experienced players compared to the Battlehawks. That was probably like a new entry, if I understand correctly.
Well, they all started plus minus the same time, though.
Yeah, okay. All right, fair enough.
Game 2 for week 1 was the Ball Kings versus the Ball Knights. And Ball Kings is a team that's on fire. They beat the Knights 68.
Yeah, 68.
That was another hiding.
Yeah, it is.
The Knights aren't a bad team at all. Going forward, you'll see. But yeah, that was a hiding.
Yeah, look, I mean, the Kings have experience.
Yeah, they're actually defending champions as well.
Yeah, and
they won last season.
But I think if you watch any of the games, you can clearly see the experience, potentially coaching, the caliber of player that's coming from the Kings. So
if you watch some of the games, there's some good players now.
Yeah, there really are.
So if you guys actually want to watch some of the games, if you're not in the area, we do have all games on our YouTube channel. So once this video is done, please go take a look and go watch a couple of games. It's all 4 weeks on there. Yeah, so enjoy it.
Otherwise, if you are in the sort of Gauteng area, they do play. They do have various venues that are played at, and I'm sure if you open on a Sunday, I'm sure they'd love to have you guys down there supporting as well.
Definitely,
in person kind of thing. It's a great experience.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. So week 2, right? All right. So Commanders took out the Battlehawks 18-6.
Yeah, very close game, very tight game.
I don't know how quarter close. Look, definitely closer than the Harlequins Battlehawks game. Vol Kings ended up taking out the Harlequins 30-12.
Yeah.
That for me was a bit more of a surprise. I wasn't expecting the Vol Kings to do as good as what they did.
Last season the Kings.
Oh no, wait.
Sorry,
not the Kings. I'm thinking now the Knights. Yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah, Vol Kings. Yeah, fair enough. Vol Kings. All right, they beat the Harlequins 30-12.
Your brain went way.
Yes, it did. I think actually, I'd say I was sort of half expecting them to do better.
But yeah, I mean more of a closer, tighter game.
No, I thought.
The Kings. Okay. I thought you meant Harlequins. Sorry.
Yeah, there would have been a bigger gap between the scores,
or especially after week 1.
Yeah.
Against the Knights.
But I mean, I think the Harlequins held up pretty well.
Yeah.
A lot of effort going into them and into the game.
Well, the Harlequins have some very good players as well. They have Tyler, they have Eliandro, they have Ashley, they have some very strong players as well. So,
but yeah, we'll see how it goes with the Harlequins going forward. But I mean, the Kings definitely have had the upper hand, at least in that game. It like I said, experience shone through. But yeah,
the Kings is pretty strong.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. So week 3 was the Vol Knights versus the Commandos. The Knights beat the Commandos 38-24. Okay, so game 2 of week 3 was the Vol Kings versus the Battlehawks, and the Kings absolutely just destroyed the Battlehawks 86-8.
Yeah, look, I mean, again, and I still need to comment on it, but the caliber of player and experience from the Kings, I mean, it's there. There's definitely a cohesive team playing there, and I think the players there seem to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Battlehawks, on the other hand, seem to be a little bit more still trying to find their way and figure things out. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, the fact that they scored 8 at least, and like I mean, all in all seriousness, I mean, like, great. I'm the guys are out on the field. I'm not. So
yeah,
I don't wanna, I'm not talking smack about the Battlehawks, but at the same time, like watching some of their videos or the highlights and clips from their games. Yeah, there's definitely some work to be pulled in there.
But yeah, I'm gonna defend the Battlehawks a bit, especially with this game, because I spoke to their coach, Jean-Claude, and he told me half of the team basically didn't show up for the game for some reason, and the QB actually got a concussion within like the first 30 minutes of the game.
Okay, so
it kind of explains the massive gap of 86-8.
Yeah,
I will defend them a little bit.
Okay, no, fair enough. But in a way that maybe potentially also speaks a bit to the I can say the dedication or the discipline of the players in the team. Look, I get it. If it's an away game, logistics sometimes don't work.
Yeah,
don't work in your favor. But at the same time, I mean, like, if you've just got players not finishing up, it's very difficult to practice, train, become cohesive as a unit
if you're not
showing up.
Yeah,
and I mean, that's not just for games, but I mean, like, potentially now you have to think like, okay, maybe that's happening in practices and that type of thing. So, it's difficult to get stronger if you don't have a disciplined, dedicated
no, that's fair.
A team. All right, moving on. So week 4. Commandos Harlequins. Commandos took that 28-14.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit shocked with that. I thought the Harlequins will take that game.
Okay. I'll say okay. So also Vol Knights taking out the Battlehawks 22.
Let's see the difference between last week's game, the week before, week 3 and week 4. There was only an 18-point difference, 22.
But okay, it's a different team as well. So yeah,
no, of course, yeah. Okay, cool. So moving on now to our upcoming predictions for round 5, which will be on the 4th of May. Vol Knights versus Harlequins.
Mm-hmm.
I say the Harlequins are going to beat the Knights. Because at the moment, the Harlequins is on a losing streak and they have a lot to prove going forward in this league. I think they're going to try their best to take down the Knights.
Yeah, see, I'm going with the Knights.
You go with the Knights. Game 2 is the Vol Kings versus the Commandos. I think we both agree Vol Kings is... Vol Kings has just been destroying every single team.
Yeah.
They've been performing and they're on a very hot winning streak at the moment. So I'll say the Kings.
Yeah, 100% agreed. I mean, even just looking at the numbers by which they win.
The Kings are.
I don't think it's going to be a close game.
So if you guys are in the Vaal area the week of, the Sunday, May 4th, go support the boys. Go watch the game live. They will be at Hoërskool Driehoek. Yeah. Driehoek High School in the Vaal area. Go check them out and go watch the game. Support the boys. Yeah. Go be there for them.
Yeah, I think just maybe include some descriptions and or location or times, something to the effect in descriptions.
Yeah, definitely. I'll add a link to the map location. Yeah. I'll add the times there as well. I believe, I'm not sure which game, but one game will be at 10 o'clock and the next game will be at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, so people have an awareness and
So go check out the boys. We'll be there for them. Okay, so moving on. Our power rankings for SAFFL. Yeah, we've done a power rankings for UFL. It's a power rankings for SAFFL. Number 5, unfortunately, you have to put Battlehawks. Number 4, Harlequins. Number 3, Vaal Knights. Number 2, Commandos. And obviously number 1 is the Vaal Kings.
Yeah,
Vaal Kings is just destroying this league at the moment.
So I've got pretty much exactly the same league, except I think in my case, I put the Commandos and the Knights at number 2. So like in my opinion, they're tied for second.
Okay.
So there is no number 3. But if I had to force an order, a number 2 and a number 3, then Commandos for me is slightly higher. I do think the Knights would win, yes, against the Commandos right now. But I think as the season progresses, for me, the Commandos just seem to have a, let's say, a growing streak. Yeah. They're getting better as the season progresses. So, yeah, definitely keen to see where they end up. All right, so, okay, moving on. Sideline awards for SAFFL. All right, so MVP of the week, we had to give it to Jason Warnovic. If we're not pronouncing his surname wrong, we do apologize. But Jason, you're our guy for this week. He plays wide receiver and cornerback for the Commandos. As I said, Commandos on fire, like at least in my opinion, definitely growing. Jason is just noting one of the younger players in the league at the moment. And there's definitely a lot of heart and passion that comes out of him. Again, also from the rest of the team, I think, week by week, they definitely seem to be learning from the past weeks.
Yeah.
And experiences and gains and things, and definitely seem to be growing, at least in my opinion. So,
no, 100% agree. Because, like I said, I expected Harlequins to win that game, and they just showed something was it week 3? Sorry, and they just came back. Week 4, sorry, my bad.
Like looking at game 1, game 2, week 1, week 2 for Commandos, I want to say there was a lot of missed opportunities.
Yeah.
A lot of let's say deep ball throws, or deep downfield type throws, but accuracy was lacking. There was a question of why you're throwing down there. Like passes were incomplete, that type of thing. Yeah. And then progressing into like week 3, week 4, you can definitely see more of the run game coming out. It's tighter. I think like even from week 2, the defensive unit, they're stopping those plays. And it just seems to be getting better and better. And so, I mean, you've got a really, really strong, or you've got a pretty decent, or pretty strong defensive unit. Your offensive side is getting points on the board, and they're tightening up the game kind of thing, playing a lot of like run game kind of thing, or making the decision when to play run versus when to throw, playing to the quarterback strengths, and yeah, definitely, I don't know, definitely making progress on that. Yeah. Love to see where they end up.
Okay, so coach of the week, we went with Coach Maurice and Coach Jean-Claude from the Battlehawks. They performed really well against the Vaal Knights in week 4. They improved so much going from week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4.
Yeah.
To losing 22, but they just have been performing and improving week after week after week as a coach and as a team.
Yeah.
So we say that
I
they
would,
did.
I would still like to see a bit more discipline,
Mm.
potentially. But yeah, definitely, if they can keep at it, might actually not turn out to be a too bad season for them.
Yeah.
So, game of the week
for SAAFL.
for SAFFL. The game selected. We selected was the Commanders Harlequins game, which Commanders ended up defeating the Harlequins 28-14. I mean, it kind of was a fairly close game. The scores don't accurately reflect that.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty tight game. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of up and down along the field. And definitely one of the games we'll check out.
Yeah, definitely a good game. So go check it out on our YouTube channel. Like we said, once this podcast is done, go check it out. All the games are there from week 1 to week 4. Go look at that game.
Yeah.
So Commanders vs Harlequins was
week 4 game. Yeah. 2025 week 4. But yeah, that's pretty much that then, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be a wrap. So guys, like we said before in our previous episode, we're wanting to start a community of American football fans here in South Africa. So please like, comment, subscribe, join us on YouTube, almost at Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Twitter. We everywhere at the moment. So please go follow us. Yeah, and join the community.
Please bring your opinions, your thoughts. What did you like that we said? What did you not like? Share your opinion. That's what this is all about, right? I mean, getting us talking. So
yeah, because we would like to add some of your guys' comments and questions, your guys' hot takes, everything you guys want to talk about. We would love to bring on the podcast and discuss it as well.
Yeah. So I guess I think we're done for this week. So I guess we'll catch you next time
from the sidelines.
There we go.
Touchdowns and tackles, we give you the view. Huddle up, football fans, this show's for you. From the pregame hype to the final whistle, true.